Good evening. Once again we return to the story of Caius, Spellsword, Dunmer, Eternal Champion, former agent of the Emperor, and initiate into the Blades. We just recently defeated the Kimona Tong, or at least the agents of the Kimona Tong, and we will probably be moving on to the next couple of tasks from the different guilds, but I don't remember them. So I'm looking for Saran for the debt, and for the Mage's Guild would had me looking for a necromancer, which I think I'll start with. I do rather wish I had looked at this beforehand, but no, here we go. Margon. And in the inventory, if I can clear up some space, I would prefer it. Oh, that's right, we were attacked, so I should be able to sell these at the Fighters Guild. The idea was to advance as far as I could in the different guilds before I...
There's someone watching me. I can tell.
Who is watching you?
Greetings, citizens. I'm Drelsea Artheni. Welcome to Balmora. We're a House Hlalu Tau and loyal citizens of the Empire. What can I do for you?
Just the usual. Can you tell me any rumors?
Yeah, House Hlalu's gar herders. They've had some hard times here these last few days.
What about advice?
The easy way to get started is to join a guild. Do their jobs, earn your way up the ranks, get discounts, training, and other services. Gets you out and around Vvardenfell a little at a time. Get to know the country and the people. The guild takes an interest in you. Doesn't send you in over your head. The Fighters Guild and the Legion, anyway. The Mages Guild is another story. Some old chair polisher doesn't have a clue about what he's sending you into. Doesn't much care.
I should remember that about the necromancer. What about any secrets?
In Morrowind, we don't like to hear about vampires. We know that back west, the Mages Guild helps them hide. The Mages Guild is full of necromancers, and we don't like that one bit. If we see a vampire here in Morrowind, we put him on a stake and roast him. Well, truth be, we'll tell the Ordinators and let them take care of it. Private citizens have no business fighting vampires. They're too dangerous.
Thank you. I don't suppose you can say anything about the necromancer I'm looking for.
Practice of binding our dead to protect sacred and family property is our right, and protected by temple and imperial law.
So we'll go to the Fighters Guild to sell off the goods that I got off of my would-be assassin, and I will try to take on the necromancer, assuming I can find them. But this may be a challenge. The overall plan has been to work up the guilds until I can't. Either I run out of skill, or
Is there something you need?
basically until I can't advance any further, and then start moving up inside of the Blades. But I sort of reserve the right to change the plan. But as the wandering citizen said, it does get me out and around in the continent, and we have a lot of map to uncover. So my first priority right now is to try and free up some inventory space. And this is just so that I can try maybe investigating the Dwemer ruins.
Nice to see you, friend.
Welcome, adventurer. Looking for an equalizer? Something to give you an edge against a superior opponent? When you need to do a lot of damage in a hurry, you can't beat a poison blade. Try my inexpensive iron spider dagger and steel spider blade, or an imperial netch blade for even more bite.
Alright. So I'm gonna keep the flame sword. That's helped me in the past, but the spider dagger can go. The armor is very good, but I don't want to be found wearing Dark Brotherhood gear. And I want to hang on to these for now. I believe I've already taken a look through all of these different items. Yeah, I carry too much, I carry too much garbage. Ah, yes, I should actually read these books and deposit them in my home. Well, my closest thing to a home. I'll save that for now, though. All right. Let's try and take him up to 1750. Probably means I could have gotten more. Still interested in finding the target, so we'll see. Actually, I also have money, so I should upgrade my...
I'm very happy to make your acquaintance.
Do the citizens of Margon still have to worry about necromancy?
Tell me more about it again.
It's not a difficult assignment, Caius. Go to Margon, find Tapshi Ashibael, and kill her.
Tell me more about her.
Right, Tapshi lives in Margon. She's the one who's been practicing necromancy.
Alright, then tell me about Molag.
Molag is the rocky, uninhabited wilderness interior to southeastern Vvardenfell. There are only a few paths to this area, and travel is hazardous because of the lava pools.
Alright then, let's start with spells. Nothing I immediately need. So for now, I'm going to focus on destruction and restoration, both in terms of spells and in training.
Are you here for scrolls, Caius, or are you here for some other enchantments, or even soul gems? Whatever your enchanting needs, you've come to the right place.
I might consider some alchemy, but...
I can teach nothing more about that skill.
Alright.
Yes?
I will consider the alchemy training later, but let's just make sure that I've used up my other possibilities. I know she's never happy to see me, but she's good at training.
You need not be afraid.
What, are you deaf?
Only
No interruptions.
earn
I can't
my
think.
anger.
The resistances are tempting. Yeah, let's go for it. That was a bit of an extravagance, but...
This is unexpected, but not unwelcome. Please go ahead.
So my understanding is that the training only affects
Yes,
the governing.
How do you do?
It only affects the the ability to train, I believe I can advance it through normal use. This is why I'm putting priority on being able to get myself to the top of these abilities. These are a little expensive as much as I would like to practice them.
I'm Masseline Marion, the Breton Guild Guide. I provide instantaneous transport between various Mages Guild halls in Vvardenfell. What is your destination? I can also help with local information. Do you need services? Are you looking for some specific place or someone in particular?
Just spells at the moment. It's a little bit more than I wanted to spend, to be honest.
How may I help you, Dunmer?
Our sugar is yours, friend.
One last one. If I get more money, I'll be able to do more, but for now, I'll keep some cash on hand. The first priority was to make sure that I could take care of destruction and restoration, seeing as I'd be using those on a regular basis.
Oh, wonderful. Welcome, Outlander.
What time is it? Oh, wow.
Yes, Outlander?
Well, let's get to it. I wonder if the Silt Strider will help me out.
Where would you like to go?
Good day, stranger. Welcome to Balmora, council seat of House Lalu. I'm your local caravaner, and I hope I can find you a Silt Strider. Travel to your destination. Or if you're new to Balmora, can I help you with local services? Do you need someone in particular, or is there a specific place in Balmora that I can help you find?
I would actually love to find. I think it was Margar. There might be something in Narmok for me still, but yep, Margon. Alright, I'm gonna have to read the signposts, I think. I can, of course, try the fast travel options, but I don't really want to do that yet. There's still an advantage to checking places out on their own. I'm a little curious about what might be down here, though. It doesn't hurt to try. Hopefully they're still not looking for me. Alright, Caldera, Balmora, Pelagiad. We've been to all of these places, so the next question is, where's the next signpost? Molag doesn't really help me, but you know what, we'll try it anyway. As far as space is concerned, though, I don't really have that much to go examining the ruins. Suppose the other alternative is that I could follow the path down here. I don't believe I've done that yet. But it does invite the question as to whether or not it'll take me where I need to go. So again, this is a location I'd like to check out at some point. For someone who doesn't have that much stamina, I'm certainly doing okay for the hits. Now, as far as levels are concerned, it seems that right now the best path is just to go strength, intelligence, and wisdom, because I'll be affecting my ability to cast magic in terms of magicka, as well as the relevant skills. So in terms of destruction and restoration, both are governed by willpower, but I believe it's intelligence that gives me magicka. And then strength, of course, allows me to work with my okay, apparently that doesn't count for anything. I kinda need to rest now, but I'll try and get a little bit more distance before I turn in. anyways, we'll try and make a little bit of distance before I rest. And whatever else I was gonna say, apparently I can't hold on to. Alright, let's see what the... None of these help. Drawback about the path that I'm going through is that I've also already been here. So it's less likely I'll find something new. It is kind of nice to be traveling through this at night, though. And it's not been bad for materials. If somewhat irritating with the local wildlife. I'm gonna have to start thinking about rest at some point. This is probably blighted. Alright, and it says I've contracted a disease. Fortunately, we do have a scroll for that. At least I hope I don't have a taxi anymore. This isn't helpful. Although not a terrible place to rest if it comes to it. Alright, I should be careful here. These guys seem to be nasty the last time I had to encounter them. didn't bring that sword with me. You know what? I didn't want to risk it, but we'll go a little bit further and then we'll rest. It's best if I can find an actual inn or some kind. Now I suspect before too long I should be coming up on a couple of locations that I've already visited. Again, none of these directions really help. At least for where I want to go. This was a mistake. Get another one of those down. Well, we don't have any other way. I should have planned this better. Alright, if that's not a reason to start resting, I don't know what is. I just lost the screen. That's probably gonna give me an error in a second. Yeah. Alright. We'll get a quick reset in. Sorry about that. Alright. Seems to be good. You know, I've been hit with a little bit of lag throughout the playthrough. I'm not quite sure what's causing that. Something wants me. So if memory serves, that location there, I wouldn't be able to rest because there's enemies other than that one person I needed to get the dues from. All of this is wasted skill. So as before, it'd be nice to be prompt in resting, but not at the expense of going into some place I wouldn't normally want to. So I believe we've already been here, and then that was where we ended, so let's see what other locations we can find. Alright, all the same. The real challenge here is I'm gonna find something interesting and then not have the health to be able to deal with it. But for now, it's been working. Okay, fortunately that didn't infect me with anything. This guy will arrive when he wants to. I don't know what that is, but it doesn't look friendly. Alright, well, suppose I should count myself lucky. At this point, I'm pretty much gonna settle for any village that has some kind of an inn. prefer not to have to go back to some place like Pelagiad because I have already been there. So the idea here will be when I rest, I'll rest first, and then we'll do a bunch of alchemy. That should hopefully give me another level advance sooner than I normally would have gotten it. I expect this one was reasonably quick just because I spent a bunch of money on training. In the worst case scenario, I'll just rest by the water. Oh, got lucky. Do I risk it? Yeah.
You've ascended to level 8. The secret does not seem to be hard, the secret does seem to be hard work, yes, but also a kind of blind passion and inspiration.
Alright, this wasn't too inspiring. It seems to get spread out, so again, we'll just do strength, intelligence, and willpower. And apparently my sleep schedule's all wrong now. Thought there might be something I could pick up as a material. So I'm a little interested in what's over here. I don't want to spend too much time investigating it. Caius has a sixth sense known as music cues. Although I shouldn't be using the sword here, I should be using destruction magic. No, that's right, I was going to do some alchemy. Alright. Try and make it reasonably quick. Unfortunately, I'm also finding more abilities, which makes it a little harder for me to keep track of everything. Alright, so we've got levitate. I'm gonna try and get some things that are useful here, so preferably some kind of restore. Telekinesis might work. I'm also gonna go by the things that I have the largest quantity of, so either agility or telekinesis. these crush fibers so luck and fortify personality. So much for that. Alright, let's try and do some healing then. Assuming I have any restore health. No. Resist fire, drain health. I don't think I have water walking or paralyzed, but let's see. Anything with 10 or greater I'll probably mess around with here. Bungler's Bane it is. Alright, I think we already tried that, but let's see. Restore intelligence or invisibility. Might have some water breathing left. Yep, that was water walking. And strength and fortify magic, but I don't think I have those. Alright, I did what I could. I'll worry about selling them later. more sense to use it for healing rather than destruction. Assuming that's resistant to fire then, because that thing went down a lot faster than I thought it would. Alright, now we're not equipped to take on any ghosts inside here. So we'll take the risk. This thing's still, and I don't remember if I have to cast a spell to get rid of the drain attribute, or if I can just sleep it off. Looks like I just need to wait to, lose it. My strength is suffering for it. I almost certainly am not going to be able to move. Alright, we're gonna wait a little while and see if that fixes anything. Because if not, then I'm gonna need to rest so that I can cast the restore attribute. Actually, I think I have my phone nearby, so we'll see if that might be online. So every indication is that this goes away after a certain amount of time, but whether or not it's actually worth waiting for is another question. Thing in this particular case, what I'm going to do is rest up. Oh, well, so much for that. Suppose this leaves me hopeful that, it can get in quicker. It's just like Outlast. Alright. That still did not have the intended effect. See, none of this stuff is what's weighting me down, though. Even after all the armor, I'm still over. So first things first, I'm just going to see if I can rest a little bit closer to the entrance. Alright, in failing that, we'll see if I can not kill myself trying to take these things out. Obviously, I'll come for the rest of it, but alright, so we need to find a way of dealing with this. With this drainability problem. I'll try another Google search for how long. surprise. Alright, no need to make this complicated. I'll just rest outside. Oh, that's odd that I don't need to worry about the duration. Alright. I forgot to get restored, didn't I? Alright. I just want to see if I can find an altar nearby. Just trying to find what I have that's so heavy. Close. Alright, this is gonna be tricky. This will probably not be enough. Yeah. Going to try a different approach. Going to run through, ignoring this thing until the very end. It's obvious I will not help my incumbents. Could be worse. That'd be great to sell, but it's too heavy right now. Neither of these are worth it. This is a little reckless, so I'm gonna do... Alright. Again, the aim here is to find where the shrine for recovery is. Might even ditch the boots.
Halgard's Tale by Tavi Dromio. I think the greatest warrior who ever lived had to be Vilus Numenius, offered Zamora. Name one other warrior who conquered more territory. Tiber Septim, obviously, said Halgard. He wasn't a warrior, he was an administrator, a politician, said Garaz. And besides, acreage conquered can't be final means of determining the best warrior. How about skill with a blade? There are other weapons than blades, objected Zamora. Why not skill with an axe or a bow? Who is the greatest master of all weaponry? I can't think of one greatest master of all weaponry, said Halgard. Balixes of Aegea Nero in Black Marsh was the greatest wielder of a lance. Ernst Lervu of the Ashlands was the greatest master of the club that I've ever seen. And the greatest master of the katana was probably an Akavari warlord we've never heard of, as far as archery goes. Pelenel Whitestrake supposedly conquered all of Tamriel by himself, interrupted Zamora. That was before the First Era, said Garaz. It's probably mostly myth, but there are all sorts of great warriors of the modern eras. The Camoran usurper, the unknown hero who brought together the Staff of Chaos and defeated Jagar Tharn.
You called?
We can't declare an unknown champion the greatest warrior. What about Nandor Birad, the Empress Cataria's champion, suggested Zamora. They said they could use any weapon ever invented. But what happened to him, smiled Garaz. He was drowned in the Sea of Ghosts because he couldn't get all of his armor off. Call me overly particular, but I think the greatest warrior in the world should know how to take armor off. It's kind of hard to judge ability to wear armor as a skill, said Zamora. Either you have basic functionality in a suit of armor, or you don't. That's not true, said Halgard. There are masters in that as well, people who can do things while wearing armor better than we can out of armor. Have you ever heard of Hlalup Pasroth, the king's great-grandfather? Zamora and Garaz admitted that they had not. This was hundreds and hundreds of years ago, and Pasroth was a ruler of a great estate, which he had won by right of being the greatest warrior in the land. It's been said, and truly that much of the house's current power is based on Pasroth's earnings as a warrior. Every week he held games at his castle, pitting his skill against the champions of the neighboring estates, and every week he won something. His great skill wasn't the use of weaponry, though he was decent enough with an axe and a longsword, but in his ability to move quickly and with great agility wearing a full suit of heavy mail. There were some who said that he moved faster while wearing armor than he did out of it. Some months before the story begins, he had won the daughter of one of his neighbors, a beautiful creature named Mina, who he had made his wife. He loved her very much, and he was intensely jealous, and with good reason. She wasn't very pleased with his husbandly skills, and the only reason Mina never strayed was because Passeroth kept a close eye on her. She was, to put it kindly, naturally amorous and resentful of her position as a prize. Wherever he went, he always brought her with him. At the games, she was placed in a special box so that he could see her even while he competed. But his real competition, though, didn't know it. But his real competition, though he didn't know it, was from a handsome young armorer he had won at one of his competitions. Mina had noticed him, and the armorer, whose name was Terran, had certainly noticed her. "This is all the makings of a dirty joke, Halgard," said Zamora with a smile. "I swear it's entirely true," said Halgard. The problem facing the lovers was, of course, that they could never be alone. Perhaps because of this, it became a burning obsession to both of them. Terran decided that the best time for them to consummate their love was during the games. Mina feigned illness so she didn't have to stay in the box, but Passeroth visited the sick room every few minutes between fights, so Terran and Mina could never get together. The sound of Passeroth's armor clunking up the stairs to visit his sick wife gave Terran an idea. He crafted his lord a new suit of armor, strong and bright and beautifully decorated. For his purposes, Terran rubbed the leg joints with Luca dust, so the more he sweated and the more he moved them, the more they'd stick together. After a little while, Terran figured Passeroth wouldn't be able to walk very quickly and wouldn't have enough time between fights to visit his wife. But just in case, Terran also added bells to the legs, which rung loudly when they moved, so the couple would be able to hear him coming in plenty of time. When the games commenced the following week, Mina feigned illness again, and Terran presented his lord with the new armor. Passeroth was delighted with it, as Terran hoped he would be, and donned it for the first fight. Terran then stole upstairs to Mina's bedchamber. All was silent outside as the two began to make love. Suddenly, Mina noticed a peculiar expression on Terran's face, and before she had a chance to ask him about it, his head fell off his neck. Passeroth was standing behind him with his axe in hand. "How did he get upstairs so quickly with all his leg joints gummed up? And didn't they hear the bells ringing?" asked Garaz. "Well, you see, when Passeroth realized he couldn't walk on his legs very quickly, he walked on his hands." "I don't believe it," laughed Zamora. "What happens next?" asked Garaz. "Did Passeroth kill Mina too?" "No one knows exactly what happened next," said Halgard. Passeroth didn't return for the next game, nor for the next. Finally, at the fourth game, he returned to fight, and Mina appeared in the box to watch. She didn't appear to be sick anymore. In fact, she was smiling and had a light flush to her face. "They did it?" cried Zamora. "I don't have all the salacious details, except that after the battle, it took 10 squires and 13 hours to get Passeroth's armor off, because of all the Luca dust mixed with his sweat." "I don't understand. You mean he didn't take his armor off when they... But how?" "Like I said," replied Halgard, "this is a story about someone who is more agile and accomplished in his armor than out of it." "Now that's skill," said Garaz.
Well, I am glad that I've learned how to move faster in armor that I don't use after that. Alright, I'm pretty sure that's a skeleton. That is not a skeleton. What was that? Bone Lord. I got 99 problems, but a lich ain't one. Alright, now it looks like there is no way for me to, there's no shrine for me to recover at. So I might just have to take my lumps at the, kind of makes sense for me to take the other one, doesn't it? Alright, again, I'm trying something silly here, so we'll set up just in case. Alright, so. Use all the magic, obviously. And that was what I was scared of. Alright. So my alternative will just be to grab what I can and leave. Although I suppose I can free up a little just free up a little weight. I believe we've already got a copy of this. But it won't hurt to sell the second copy. Now this is gonna be fun. Alright, if I don't find anything, well, it's a path. We'll see where this takes me, although I've certainly gone off the path to Molag. I'm also happy to see that that's poison, not disease. Poison I can heal through, disease is a little bit harder to deal with. That's interesting, but I'm gonna guess that these are Dwemer ruins, so we'll hold off and follow the path until we can find a proper inn, and ideally a temple to get rid of these drain attributes. I'll admit I don't mind getting lost when the scenery is nice. This one's a little bit harder because during the night the lava makes the place look more interesting. During the day this is a little gray to be wandering around in. What would I do without a cliff razor fight? Alright, well, we'll keep heading towards Molag, wherever that is. I always thought Molag was the region, but... Looks so pitiful that way. Less so when it's trying to eat you. Some priorities when I find my next city. See if I can find any restore attribute spells or potions. Alright, so now I'm dying to see where this thing heads. Wherever there aren't signposts, it's inherently interesting. Of course, this is a bit of a dubious decision, seeing as I'm not following the signposts anymore. We'll see where this takes me. Alright, this might be throwing some disease. No, we'll see. If that's a family tome, I might need to pass. Well, we'll give it a try. Actually, I don't think I have the weight to do this. Yeah, we'll leave it be. So I either need to be considering camp, going back to the signs. Well, for now, can free up some weight just by drinking potions. But I do need to find some kind of a town somewhere. At this point, there are probably worse things than freeing up space by drinking something beneficial to me, but still. So I think when we get to the next town, I'll also read one of these books that I have in my inventory. And it looks like if my guess was that the drain attribute's gonna go away after some time, if that is true, it's certainly longer than any practical wait that I want to deal with. See if I can get some materials before the fight. It's nice to be able to make some quick progress, but I'd also like to hit where I can. Alright, so these are all new locations. I think I'll still head to Molag. No reason other than it just sounds the most similar to the other place I need to go. But in the worst case scenario, I know there are other towns. Should probably take a minute to see if I can do any more alchemy, but give it a little more time. I'm not doing great on health, and ideally I will find a place an actual place to rest rather than just resting in the middle of the path. Right, so that's slightly encouraging to see a building, but it's not exactly a village. Two now, great. Alright, well, no blight, so.
You won't win any popularity contests here, Outlander. What's your problem, anyway?
Well, who are you?
I ask myself, do I like you enough to tell you about this?
Alright, that's fair. What do you know about the Mages Guild? Nothing, huh? Well, can I charm you? No.
Do I need to call the guards?
Maybe. Alright, nobody likes me.
Don't bother me.
I don't know you. What do you want?
Any background?
I'm Raron Rinnith, sorcerer and retainer of the Great House Telvanni.
Anything you can tell me about Morrowind?
Wagons and armor work poorly. Repair them yourself, or sorry, weapons, not wagons. Repair them yourself if you have some skill, or take them to a smith for repair.
Why, thank you. I'm going to assume that there's no healing or other. Oh, I want to read all of these. Alright. It's probably better that I just get out of here. I am mildly curious, though, if they'll let me rest in this place.
Can't you find someone else to bother?
Apparently they will.
This is most unsafe.
So again, the aim is going to be to find a city to sell all these things in and just generally catch up. It'd be nice to talk more to those individuals, but obviously my reputation wasn't that great, so no point in belaboring the issue. Now the real problem here is it seems like I'm not going to get much help in terms of finding this place I need to go. Guess I can't really justify drinking a potion now, can I? Well, maybe a restore. Yeah. Should probably be using those restore 15 potions a lot more than I do. So it looks like I just took a big circle around Molag. Black hard plate, huh? Alright, wait. So that's not a common disease. I'm gonna guess yes, but unfortunately, this one I'm gonna have to reload for just because I don't know how to deal with a strength that low.
I really don't want you around here.
Why do you interrupt me?
I also have a feeling the drain attribute might be going against my reputation. Now, obviously, we don't have the rest, but I'll live with that. At this point, I just kind of want to hurry to whatever Molag. At this point, I want to know what Molag is, let alone where. And I can figure out the rest when I get there. Alright, so again, we'll see what's up here, but I may not take the opportunity just because I need to find... I need to find a place to rest and sell items. Ah. So there will be good stuff for me here, but... Oh god, this is a tough call. Do I want to keep... I can keep going, but I mean, I'm just gonna wind up finding... Yeah, not against that. At some point, I'm just gonna find something I want that I can't bring back. So another point to keep an eye on. I hope this is the right way. You know what? Wow. Look at the practice. And the mistake I made earlier was it's Molag Mars where I'm going. Molag Mur is the region. Although, of course, I'm not actually trying to go to Molag Mar, I'm trying to go to Margan. But I don't seem to have been given much indication in terms of where that might be. Learned my lesson with rats. Of course I am. Drawback about this approach right now is that I'm just getting training on my armor, my shield, and my blade because I haven't healed and I don't have any mana. All of these skill gains are going to things that are helpful but not my primary concern. These things are always good at creeping up on me, it seems. But whatever they throw at me, it doesn't seem to be too damaging, so I can live with it. So drinking the Restore Fatigue is partly just to get the advantage of a stamina boost before combat. And then it's also an anticipation of free use of inventory space. The other possibility I will consider is when I get to a town, I'll see if I can take some kind of transport service to Molag. This may not go well for me. Yeah. It's tempting to check it out, but probably not at this rate. Again, my inventory is full, so if I do go on these side adventures, which I want to, I do actually need to make sure I'm able to realize the gains. No indication at all where that goes. This fight's probably going to be a bit of a tough one, especially at my health. But God forbid I take any more potions. Never mind. Again, interesting, but if it's not a friendly place, I won't. Alright, so apparently every cave is unfriendly. That's the lesson. But I'm still glad I went up there because apparently we are finally where we wanted to go. I'm going to assume and hope that this is Molag. Mar. It is not. Sometimes these wind up being hostile. Wow, this does not look friendly at all. Hi, are you responsible for the evil stuff that's happening down there? Yes, you are. I think I'll just load that again. Alright, so that is decidedly not the place I wanted to be. That might merit inclusion on a map or something like that, but no. I'm pretty sure this signpost wants me to walk by this thing, and hopefully we find the path to Molag again. It sort of looks like there might be something down there. I'm not quite sure though. And we're no closer to finding our destination. I don't want to pick fights with the mud crabs, but I won't hold back if they pick one with me. Alright, at this point I just want to find signposts again. Just as long as I take on one at a time, I don't mind it. This is bad. It's too impatient. So yeah, this next level up will probably be pretty disappointing. Jesus. I should not be struggling against those. God, Black Heart Blight. What is it? I can't move. I don't want to reset every time I get a disease, but if it's something that I'm not going to be able to move with, there's no point in carrying on. And that sounds like the Cliff Racer found me again. I think this time I'm just going to hold off until my stamina is at the top. Moving does seem to help, though. Who knows, maybe the level up will remove the drain ability. Yeah, that's wasteful. So is this technically. Alright, so I'll save just in case, but I do really want to try and save at an inn if I can. Not that that saves me from the Dark Brotherhood if it comes down to it, but... The fact there's a skeleton outside that means that that might be Molag. Not Markan. Sort of what you'd expect to see outside of a necromancer's home. Well, it was worth hoping for. I'll just take a minute here in my journal and make sure that I didn't miss anything in terms of where this place was. Yep, just Margon. Alright, well, that's encouraging. So first things first, I'll find an inn to stay in. will, find a way to cure my, drain attribute.
It suffers wounds.
What can Vanera do for you?
Tell me about skooma.
Skooma is an illegal narcotic substance made from refined moon sugar. Criminals use it as a kind of currency. They say it makes you fast and strong, but clumsy and stupid. Of course, Vanera wants nothing to do with breaking laws. That would be wrong.
What do you know about Telvanni bug musk?
Telvanni bug musk is an expensive perfume made from the scent glands of the Graceland's beetles. The substance is sold in sealed flasks, and it appears as a dark red-brown paste. The subtle and compelling fragrance is attractive to all mortal races and sexes. Even a barbarian can be persuasive wearing this perfume.
Underwork sounds interesting, but I'll leave that be for now. So barring a visit from the Dark Brotherhood, we should be okay now. Though of course it wouldn't hurt to, know the actual entrance to this place.
These are the docks of Molag Mar, Outlander, and I'm Rindril Draylor, shipmaster of Molag Mar. What's your destination? If you like, I can tell you about the local services or point you to a specific place nearby. If you're looking for someone in particular, I might be able to help.
First of all, tell me about Molag Mar.
Molag Mar Stronghold is a combination frontier garrison and pilgrimage hostel jointly staffed and maintained by the Tribunal Temple and House Redoran. Both the Temple and House Redoran have garrisons of elite volunteers here to defend the stronghold. Pilgrims use the stronghold as a base from which they can attempt the difficult and dangerous pilgrimages to Mount Kand and Mount Asarnabibi, sites to the north in the Molag Amur wastelands.
What about destinations?
My ship, the Whistler, can carry you from Molag Mar to Ebonheart, Cla Ode, the foreign quarter of Vivek, and Tel Bernora.
Good to know. Tell me about the local services.
Satring the Nord is our local independent smith, and Vasius Viculius is a trader. The slaver trader is Zabarbael. The temple faithful will find a monk, a healer, and apothecary at Molag Mar Temple. Redoran retainers and kin have their own smith, drillmaster, trader, and savant within the Redoran garrison.
What about particular people?
Briar Inderem is the buoyant armiger deputy marshal and head of the buoyant armiger garrison in the Molag Mar stronghold. Hakar the Candle is the ranking Redoran of Redoran garrison. Thera Rothfield is the Molag Mar temple steward.
What rumors have you heard?
Did you hear about the pilgrims headed east of Lake Nabia, northwest of Mount Kand? There's no place for a party of pilgrims. Or that's no place for a party of pilgrims.
What about secrets?
If someone attacks you first, you have the right to defend yourself. If someone doesn't attack you first, you're going to break the law if you attack them.
What about secret? There, you already told me a secret. What about Molag Amur?
Molag Amur is the rocky, uninhabited wilderness interior to southeastern Vvardenfell. Molag Mar is the only settlement, and it's more of a fortress than a village. Pilgrims come here to visit Mount Kand and Mount Asirnabibi. But they can't travel without well-equipped, heavily armed escorts. There are no paths, and ravines, ridges, and lava pools make it impossible to travel straight over the land. And if you get into trouble, you're on your own.
Well, I was kind of hoping to find my target, but at this point I'm just going to go in the middle and find an inn to sleep in. Unless it has dirty in the name, then we're done for. I'm gonna guess this is not the guy's store. Oh, never mind.
Pleased to meet you, Caius. I am Vasius Viculus. Is this your first visit to Molag Mar? I don't believe we've spoken before. Is there anything that I can do for you?
Tell me about Morrowind lore.
The Blight is a health-threatening volcanic cloud full of ash. Plants and creatures in the Blight get blight diseases.
Good to know. Tell me more about the services here. Alright, same as before. What about rumors? Just the same, huh?
Watch out for small camps of outcast Ashlanders. They prey on careless pilgrims. There's a large Ashlander camp beyond Mount Cand and Mount Asanar Bibi to the north. Erben Simpson camp. The Araban Imsum tribe is not very hospitable, but we're more or less at peace with them at the present, so don't rile them.
What about secrets?
Daedra, you know what they are, right? Well, Daedric shrines are where Daedra cults worship Daedra, bad people who summon bad Daedra. Stay away from them. Why? Because Daedra are nasty, and the folks that worship them are even nastier.
Alright.
To get rid of that moon sugar if you want any services from me. I don't want any trouble.
You want something, friend?
Didn't realize I was carrying any. Alright. Again, I would have preferred to sell some of this stuff in a friendly location, but the rest of these I want to hang on to. Pretty sure I had the invocation of Ezra. Yes. Everything I want to buy. Not really. Really, nothing I want to pick up right now. At this point, I think I'm just gonna poke my head in everywhere until I find some kind of a place to rest.
So where are you from?
Let's do some business, shall we?
No, I'm not ready for that. Oh, hang on. I forgot my moon sugar. I just want to find a place to rest. So you would have thought a place called the Pilgrim's Rest would be a spot that I could actually get a bed. Apparently not. I'm also pretty sure if I just fall asleep in the halls, they're gonna call the guards on me. I'll talk to the other patrons if I have to, but it'd be nice if I could just cure myself first, because I think I get reputation demerits for my current state. This is the trader. Oh, you know what? I bet it's the smith on the other side.
Come on.
You want something, friend?
Me to stand around and talk to you.
Welcome to Molag Marcais. How can I help you? Are you looking for someone in particular?
Alright, more of the same that we've already heard, so... Well, he doesn't seem to be upset about my carrying moon sugar. That's nice.
May the wind be on your back.
You may speak. Do you want something?
No, I don't think so.
I'm gonna guess this is a member of one of these houses.
Find a healer and stop bothering me.
What? Why?
Alright.
What's your story?
Oh, outlanders.
What is this about?
Your wounds should be pretty fine.
I just really want to find somebody
What's
who
your story?
will rent me a room.
Let's do some business, shall we?
Alright.
What is this about?
Hopefully I don't suffer any ill effects for just using this bed. Alright, this is the real shame here.
What is this about?
What's your story?
So you're still here in Molag Marcais, planning to be here long? Do you want to know about the local services?
Yes.
Sagering the Nord is our local independent smith, and Visaeus Viculus is a trader. The slaver trader is Zabar Bale. The temple faithful will find a monk, a healer, and an apothecary at the Molag Mar temple. Redoran retainers have kin and their own smith, drillmaster, trader, and savant with the Redoran garrison.
Alright. I think I'm just gonna find out whether or not any of these people have...
I'm a scout. I know places, people, plants, paths, wind, and weather. I serve as a guide for travelers and traders, or work as an advance guard and pathfinder for expeditions. I know the geography of Vvardenfell and the various geographic regions. My best defense is stealth, sneaking past trouble, but I can fight bow or blade in various armor styles when the job requires it.
Can you tell me about the geographic regions?
Vvardenfell has 9 regions, each with their own plants and terrain. They're called the Ascadian Isles, the Ashlands, Azura's Coast, the Bitter Coast, Grazelands, Molag Armur, the Red Mountain, the West Gash, and Sheogorad.
Tell me more about Sheogorad.
Sheogorad Island and countless nearby smaller islands and barren rocks are a desolate wilderness from the main island of Vvardenfell into the Sea of Ghosts.
Tell me about the Sea of Ghosts.
Sea of Ghosts is the name for the northern waters lying between Tamriel and the northern continent of Atmora. Guild Guide is a spellcaster of the Mage's Guild who provides magical transport for a small fee. You can only travel from one Mage's Guild to another, but it's the fastest way to travel between Vivec Balmora, Alduran Caldera, and Sadrith Mora.
Tell me more about Foyada.
Foyada means fire river in the native Ashlander language. The deep, dark ash ravines which run down the Red Mountain volcano are called Foyada. The lava from the Red Mountain is very fluid and it runs almost like water, and during an eruption, fire rivers run down the mountain, clearing the ravines of vegetation. Because they have good footing, are clear of brush, and run long distances, we use them like roads when traveling overland.
Anything else you can tell me about Morrowind? Maybe Siltstriders? Alright.
I'm sure it's around here somewhere.
I thought I heard something.
Don't want to repeat the things that I've already seen. Again, if I can, it would be nice
Talk
to
is free. What do you want?
it'd be nice to see if there's other details that I can find about my
Let's do some business, shall we?
my tasks, but it looks
Tidros Indram had to bail out Geras again. One of these days, Geras is going to go too far, and even his family's name won't protect him.
Alright, at least let's find that temple everyone was talking about. I think it's fair to say there's not much waiting for me here. I'm sure there's someone here who will give me something to do in that area. But until I find them, I'll leave it be. Alright. So it seems there's less for me to do in this area than I thought. I suppose in the worst case scenario, I can always wind up just taking the Sild Strider back to Balmora. That would be a bit of a shame, though.
I suppose I could spare a moment or two.
Welcome to Molag Markias. How can I help you? Are you looking for someone in particular?
Possibly. What about Cave Rat?
The cave rat is a subterranean variety of the hardy, abundant hunter-scavenger. Rat meat is tough and greasy, with an unpleasant odor and taste. Nonetheless, it is cheap, abundant, and nutritious, and palatable when cooked in a stew or masked by strong spices. Guards keep the peace and chase down criminals.
Alright, what rumors have you heard? More about the pilgrims? How about advice?
Have you met Gudling the Rascal in your travels? Lately he's taken up residence at St. Veloth's Hostel in Molag Mar. If you're interested in the hunter's craft, he's worth talking to.
What about secrets? More about attacking people? It's almost like you're trying to encourage me. No, this is probably where I could have rested.
I'm Orn's Omarin. This is Molag Mar, a temple outpost for pilgrims and temple warriors. Are you looking for services, or are you looking for a little advice?
Why not both?
If you're heading into the backcountry, always carry a couple of restore health, restore fatigue, cure disease, and cure blight potions with you.
A lot of this just seems to be the same.
You talk too much, Outlander.
Alright, stranger, ask your question. If it's something about Molag Mar, maybe I can answer it.
Well, who are you first?
I'm Goron Lerlin, pilgrim and novice of the temple.
What is your trade?
I'm a pilgrim. I search for enlightenment and hope to purify my soul through facing and overcoming the challenges of pilgrimages that reenact the tests and trials of gods, saints, and heroes. I visit the shrines and make devotions everywhere I travel, in village temple shrines and in the high fane of Vivek, or at the remote shrines scattered all over Vvardenfell.
Tell me about the saints, then.
The temple honors our greatest ancestors as saints, celebrating them as models of virtue and piety, and invoking their aid and protection.
Anything you can tell me about the Nerevarine?
The Ashlanders have a prophecy that one day a reincarnation of the legendary hero Nerevar will unite the Dunmer against invaders and restore the ancient Dark Elven nation. But the Tribunal Temple says that this is a false and profane superstition, and the Ordinators deal mercilessly with those who profess such beliefs.
Tell me about the Ordinators.
The Ordinators are the holy guards and soldiers of the temple.
Anything new you can tell me about services? Alright.
I'm listening. Go
Greet-
ahead.
Greetings. I am Tadera Inderem. Here in Molag Mar, everyone here in Molag Mar is involved with temple outpost or pilgrimages in some way. Is there some specific place you'd like to visit?
Well, it depends. Let's just see what you have to say.
You're an outlander. Maybe you don't know about the kinds of Daedric ruins we have here in Morrowind. Daedra cults worship the bad Daedra. You can learn more about that at the temple. Anyway, long ago, before the temple put a stop to it, people used to worship bad Daedra, Molag Bal, Malakath, Shegarath, and Merunas Dagon at Daedra shrines. But lately, since the Empire came in, some people have taken up worshipping the bad Daedra at these old sites. And I warn you, these are dangerous places.
Alright. got a little bit out of those conversations, but not quite what I was looking for.
All right, I'm listening.
Welcome to Molag Mar. Are you looking for someone in particular?
Tell me more about the Blades.
The Blades is a prestigious service order for citizens demonstrating the greatest loyalty to the Emperor. To be named to the Blades by the Emperor is a great honor, and publicly acknowledged members serve openly in noble courts and diplomatic posts. Privately, many Blades members act as the Empire's intelligence agency. Such agents conceal themselves as secret identities, operating in disguise as couriers, observers, and spies throughout the Empire.
Yeah, more of the same.
Pleased to meet you, Caius. I'm Golding the Rascal. This is Molag Mar. This outpost is maintained by the Temple for Pilgrims and Temple Warriors. Apart from the Ordinators and the boy at Armigers here, everyone is either a pilgrim or a tradesman or a craftsman servicing the pilgrims. Is this something I can do for you?
Looks like you have the exact same things to say to me that everyone else did.
I'm a hunter. I range across the ashlands and the wastes, hunting for meat and hides. I know the native creatures of Vvardenfell and how to avoid diseased creatures and blighted creatures, for they are foul and worthless, and deadly to the careless hunter. I know the ashlands and the grazelands, Azur's coast, and Molag Amur, and can tell you of these places.
Tell me about the native creatures.
Vvardenfell has many native creatures, some more dangerous than others. The main varieties are quama, flying creatures, herd animals, large bipedal predators, small predators, and water creatures. Two types of creatures are particularly dangerous because they carry disease. Diseased creatures, creatures suffering from milder local common diseases, and blighted creatures, creatures suffering from the more dangerous blight diseases.
Well, tell me about the diseased creatures first.
The following creatures are susceptible to common diseases: scrib, quama workers, cliff racers, elite, shock, kaguri, and rats. Since disease is contracted by contact after an encounter with these creatures, make sure you haven't gotten a disease.
What about blight?
Following creatures are susceptible to blight disease: quama queens, foragers, warriors, workers, scribs, cliff racers, elites, shock, kaguri, nix hounds, and rats. Since blight disease is contracted by contact, an encounter with these creatures, make sure that you haven't got a blight disease.
All right. Tell me about flying creatures.
Two kinds of flying creatures are common on Vvardenfell: netch and cliff creatures. Bull netch are giant, peaceful, floating creatures with long tentacles that dangle to the ground. Vedi netch are smaller than bull netch, but more aggressive and dangerous. Cliff racers are winged, leathery flying creatures, larger than a man, with long, wicked beaks and flailing tails. They are a serious threat, especially in packs. The long-tailed cliff racer is an aggressive, dangerous flying creature with a long vertical sail down its spine. Racer plumes from native bird like cliff racer are used locally throughout the Empire as decorations for garments and household goods. The bull netch is a huge beast that hovers in the air, supported by internal sacs of magical vapors. Cured netch skin, durable, flexible, and variously colored, is used throughout the Empire in garments, armors, weapon, household goods, and furnishings.
Tell me about the herd animals.
Two most common herd animals of the Ashlanders are the guar and the shock. The guar is a large biped trained as a beast of burden and raised for meat and hides, while guard are encountered in the wilderness, and they're usually quite peaceful. A shock is a large, unaggressive beetle raised for meat and resin from its shells.
I believe both have tried to kill me.
The guar is the dominant domesticated herd animal in Morrowind, useful as a pack animal for its meat and hide. Shock is a large, moderately aggressive beetle. Shock resins are a tough, soluble substance extracted from shock hides. Shock resins are used as glues and stiffeners in manufacturing bone mold and chitin armors. Two large bipedal predators native to Vvardenfell are dangerous predators. The elite and the kagauti are similar in appearance, but the elite is smaller and the kagauti has a distinctive bony neck shield. They are both savage hunters and quite dangerous. The elite is a tailless two-legged predator common to the grasslands and ashwaites of Vvardenfell. Built like its larger cousin and more dangerous cousin, the Kagauti, the elite has a large head and a protruding jaw, and when running on its short, stumpy legs, it looks like a big, toothy mouth with feet.
Oh, maybe that's what I ran into instead. And the Kagauti.
The Kagauti is a large, aggressive, dangerous, short-tailed bipedal creature with huge tusks. Kagauti hide is made into leather and used in clothing and many household goods.
Small predators.
Two smaller but dangerous predators of Vvardenfell are the Nixhound and the rat. Cave rats are found everywhere, often in close proximities to their slightly larger relatives, the cave rat and the rust rat. The Nixhound is a rangy quadruped with long purple feeding spikes. Its cousin, the rogue Nixhound, is larger and much more dangerous. The Nixhound is a medium-sized aggressive pack predator. The meat of the Nixhound is sweet and tender and has modest magical properties.
What about rats?
The rat is a hardy, abundant hunter-scavenger found on the land surface and in natural, excavated underground environments. Rat meat is tough and greasy with an unpleasant odor and taste. Nevertheless, it is cheap, abundant, and nutritious, and palatable when cooked in stew and masked with strong spices.
What about cave rats?
Subterranean variety of the hardy, abundant hunter-scavenger.
Somebody use copy-paste. Alright, tell me about water creatures.
Three creatures are commonly encountered in Vvardenfell's coastal and water environments. The mud crab and its larger cousins, the king mud crab and the mud crab titan. The large are large but unaggressive. Slaughterfish are small but very aggressive, and larger varieties, the blind slaughterfish and the electric slaughterfish, are quite dangerous. But the most dangerous water creatures, the large but powerful drog and the drog man of war. The mud crab is a large edible crab found in marine, coastal, and cavern environments. The mud crab is rarely aggressive, but tough and territorial. The groups of mud crab may become a nuisance. Larger mud crab species, like the king mud crab and the mud crab titan, may be a threat to careless travelers. Slaughterfish is an aggressive creature found in both in open waters and subterranean pools. The meat of the slaughterfish is mealy and noisome, but dried slaughterfish scales are said by locals to be a crunchy treat when prepared in their native manner. Draw are ancient sea monsters, half human, half octopus in appearance. Draw are hunted for their hides, which are used for making armor, and wax, a tough waxy substance with modest magical properties, is scraped from their shells.
Well, I certainly learned a lot, but I can't say any of it was useful.
I'm a bard. As an entertainer, I share songs and stories with patrons and peasants. As a scholar, I travel the world, speaking with people and learning the lessons of history and human nature. And because a good bard must experience adventure at first hand in order to present its drama effectively, I've learned to defend myself with the noble tools of medium armor and the long blade, and have mastered the minor mysteries of alchemy, enchantment, and illusion.
All right, I'm listening.
I'm what they call a crusader. Crusaders used to be warriors in service to a cult, but now any heavily armored warrior with a good cause calls himself a crusader. My good cause is hunting down necromancers and witches and bandits and other malefactors, and I do well by doing good. Salvage on arms, armor, goods taken from malefactors earns me a good living. I'm tough and strong, so I wear heavy armor and use blunt weapons, and I won't fight with worn weapons or worn armor, so I'm my own armorer.
Sounds like we have some stuff we need to talk about. Alright, again, more of the same, but
if you're thinking of traveling up country near Sheograd or out Molag way or inside the Ghost Fence, you need to know about Corporus. It's a disease that turns normal creatures into beasts, turns men into twisted mad lumps of flesh, superhumanly strong and full of hatred. You get Corporus from fighting with diseased creatures. It's hard to get Corporus, but harder to get rid of it. In fact, I hear there is no cure.
Alright. Still no closer to who I'm looking for, although maybe we'll find a temple before the evening's done.
Outlander. What?
This'll do.
Perhaps I can be of assistance.
Oh, fine. Alright, so first up, yes. I'm tempted to do all of these, actually. We'll go with strength for now.
You don't look familiar. Are you looking for services here in Molag?
Sure. Tell me your background.
I'm Sortis Wraitharan, monk and layman of the temple.
Tell me more about the temple.
I'm a monk. In mind and spirit, I am a student of the hidden mysteries of the unseen world that lies behind the objects and ideas of everyday life. In body, I'm a student of the ancient martial arts, patterned on the rain of sand fighting styles of elsewhere. I pursue hand-to-hand combat and unarmored self-defense, because what you don't have, you cannot lose. I also train with blunt weapons called staves, because even the poorest peasant can own a staff.
What do you know about necromancy?
Ignorant foreigners often confuse our communication and reliance upon our ancestor spirits with necromancy, but ancestor veneration is holy and pious, while necromancy is a godless, perverse sorcery.
What do you know about the 9 divines?
Many foreigners worship the 9 as gods. They have divine power, like the Daedra, but they're not worthy of worship. Some are better than others, but none are trustworthy.
What more can you tell me about the temple, then?
The Tribunal Temple is the native religion of civilized Morrowind. They worship 3 god kings, Alamexala, Sothasil, and Vivek, who are known together as the Tribunal. We usually just call it the Temple. Like loving ancestors, the Tribunal guards and counsels us. Like stern parents, they punish our sins and errors. Like generous relatives, they share their bounty among their greatest and least, according to their needs.
Tell me more about the Tribunal, then. Same. Alright, what about the individual god kings?
Almalexia was a virtuous wife of Lord Nerevar, and later consort of Lord Vivek.
Alright, tell me about him then.
At once brave and honorable and cunning and devious, Lord Vivek is a rare combination of the virtues of the flamboyant venturer and the prudent statesman.
And Sothasil?
Lord Sothasil is the Magus is one of the 3 immortal god kings of Morrowind, a pillar of the Tribunal and patron of the artificers and wizards. Sothasil was the mightiest wizard and most wise counselor of the First Council. Companion and teacher of Nerevar and Vivek, Sothasil is light, knowledge, and inspiration of craft and sorcery.
That was helpful. What are your feelings on the Imperial cult?
Imperial law supports and protects the Imperial cult, but the 9 divines are neither gods nor worthy ancestors, and their worship is just foolish superstition.
I see. What about the ancestors?
Recently dead spirits know us well, and do not quickly forget their living kin. They are weak, but they are quick to guide and protect us.
What about the Daedra?
The Daedra are our ancestors. Before the Tribunal, we worshipped the Daedra as gods, but they didn't deserve it, since they harmed us as often as they helped us. When they became gods, the Tribunal became our protectors and high ancestor spirits. The good Daedra became loyal friends with the Tribunal, and the bad Daedra remained foul and treacherous.
Tell me about the good Daedra.
Boethia, Mephala, and Azura are loyal friends of the Tribunal. These Daedra are the good Daedra, which we also call the Anticipations.
And the bad?
Rebel Daedra, the Dark Daedra, Molag Bal, Malekith, Shegarath, and Merunas Dagon, and their arrogance and pride refuse to keep faith with the Tribunal. We call these bad Daedra the 4 corners of the House of Troubles, and they continue to tempt the unwary into heresy and dark worship.
Can you tell me more about Molag? Nope, you can just tell me the same as everything else. Alright, final question. What do you think of the Empire?
Give to the Emperor only your coin and honor only the law which is just.
I have my sugar, right? Yes.
Welcome, my child. Do you seek to join the temple?
What's involved?
You have a promising look. Perhaps we could use you. Do you wish to join, or do you wish to hear our doctrine first?
Probably the doctrine. I'm not sure I want to leave the Imperial cult.
Your fourfold duties are to faith, family, masters, and all that is good. Perform holy quests and bring luster to the temple. Never transgress against your brothers or sisters in thought or deed, as we are all one body. If you somehow fail to uphold these ideals, you must speak with the master or the patriarch to be cleansed of your wrongdoings. Do you still want to join?
Not at the moment.
Choice is yours to make, Caius.
Wait, did they just... I think they like me less for that. Well, that's a shame. I was curious. At this point, I just kind of need to run out the clock on the stamina. I'd rather not lose magicka for no reason.
You talk too much, Outlander.
Yeah, all right.
Do you want something?
Not enough to drop the moon sugar. All right. Progress. Obviously, it'd be nice to have more magicka, but I'll work with what I've got here. The real problem is I'm running out of time for this episode, and we haven't really done much. Well, I mean, we've gotten our levels up.
I'm a merchant. I look for goods that are well made, that people want to buy, and that I can buy and sell at a profit. There are many different kinds of materials I can buy and sell. Animal products, vegetable products, mineral products, even exotic products. Crafts and manufactured goods, ideal and include weapons, armor, clothing, books, potions, enchanted items, and various housewares. I travel, talk with people I meet, buy what I like, and sell to people that I like.
Alright, more of the same.
Macera.
Let's take a look at any of the other organizations I might run into. You know, I might just take the Salt Strider back to,
Yes, Dunmer? What do you want?
back to Balmora at this rate. Let's at least find it. I think maybe we'll call it there. It's a bit of a tough call for me to decide whether or not I want to try to go to some kind of a wiki or a guide to find the location. Because part of this is to experience the title as it was, as it was. The only mods that I put in are for the visuals. But I also don't want to have a second stream which just involves me walking to a location to find out that I didn't find the place I wanted to go. I think I need to go down a level.
We're watching you, scum.
And who are you? Looks like that decision to, yeah, I don't think there's actually any way for me to go down from this level. Yeah, it looks like that decision to turn down the temple actually had some fairly, well, it had consequences. Okay, I'm almost certain there is... Yeah, there we go. Definitely not the weather I'd like to travel in, but... we can figure that out next time. It's Molag.
Where would you like to go?
This is the village of Molag, Outlander, in the Molag region. I'm a caravaner, and I manage the Siltstrider port here. Tell me your destination if you're looking to ride, or if you're new to Molag, I can help you with local services, or any specific place in Molag you're looking for. Or if you want to find someone in particular, I know where to look.
Tell me about your background.
I am Dilami Andrum, caravaner.
Where are the destinations I can go?
I can take you by Siltstrider from Molag to Vivek and to the village of Siran in the Ascadian Isles.
Alright, neither of those are places I really want to go. All of these are the same, I think. Alright, I think we'll leave it at that. I know it's a bit of an early end to a stream, which was really just more finding a new destination, but that's what I've got for now. I will see you all next week, and I'm probably just going to go and try and find the one real drawback, in my view, is not so much the fact that we didn't get the quest done. It's that my encumbrance is such that I didn't, or well, after the strength reduction, I didn't have the ability to pick things up, so I didn't try those adventures on the side. Before I go, actually, let's get the cantatas of Vivek.
The cantatas of Vivek are gone.
This will be the last book we'll read before we finish for the night.
Cantatas of Vivek are gospels written in the form of epic songs. They trace the evolution of Vivek from a foolish mortal into an enlightened divine. Vivek sought out experiences that tested him in every way possible, particularly in the defense and protection of his Dunmer people, and through his long life, his humility, and his unconquerable spirit, he attained the wisdom of the seven graces. The cantatas relate many stories of Vivek's experiments with challenge and risk, his failures and triumphs, his blessings of insight and good fortune, and his debt to his partners. Almalexia, the lover, and Sothasil, the teacher. The poetry is simple and dramatic, lyric and personal, composed to be sung or recited. The following is an excerpt from Lord Vivek's Brooding Beneath the Red Mountain. The gaunt ghost fires loom as subtle shrouds, smokes and shades on the briars of Red Mountain. Arches and spires line the rock halls, dimly lit by the spirits of the dead. The blood of broken hearths and houses runs in red rivers, blossoms in fountains. Girded round within walls of wit's glass, the shattered hosts slumber in cradles of ash. But when shall they wake? What dark crucible may kindle their souls to light? How long beneath red reeking clouds must flickering watchfires burn? How many lifetimes of labor and lament will it take to seal this restless tomb?
That one was short, so let's also take a look at Doors of the Spirit.
The doors of the spirit. The ancestors are among us. They are never farther away than the waiting door. The ancestors are not departed. The dead are not under the earth. Their spirits are in the restless wind, in the fire's voice, in the foot-smooth step. Pay heed to these things, and you will know your absent kin. Pay reverence through gift and prayer. Acquaint the ancestors with your affairs, and with your comings and goings, and with your blessings and trials. From the waiting door comes your protection. Heed the spirits who are the guardians of your hearth, teachers of wisdom, counselors of fortune, seers of fate. Each bone is a door through the wall of the world. Each bone is the road, with wisdom and power the travelers. Each bone is the ghost fence that guards us from evil. Honor the ancestors upon your hearths, within your halls, in the community of your temples, in the solitude of your tombs. Guard your ancestors from beasts and from thieves, from profane priests and sorcerers. Let no creature steal your spirits, for the plundered hearth is diminished, and the plundered tomb is shamed. Live in one world with your spirits. Honor the spirits within and without you. Do not grieve for the dead. Take shelter in their arms, and pay heed to their words.
And on that note, we leave the adventure for next week. See you then.